Hi there, it's Ree from Ree Langdon Pilates. Today I wanted to talk to you about what's the first thing I do in the morning. It's a stretch. I often wake up a little bit tight through here just from lying on my back all night, or maybe I slept in a weird position. But before I put any weight down into my body, I like to lie in bed. It takes about a minute maybe, and figure out what's going on with my low back before I get started with my day. And anything I can do to postpone that minute where I actually do have to get up, I'm all about that. So here's what I do. I'm going to start obviously lying down, and I usually just take a quick stretch up and over just to see what's going on, see if one side feels a little tighter than the other. And then I'll do a little bit of a curl. I won't even bridge up here in the first thing in the morning. I'm just going to try and see, is one side moving faster than the other? And you probably heard me mention I have a long-term injury on the right side. So my right side is usually almost always tighter than my left, and I'm feeling that right now. So to that end, I'm going to cross my right leg over my left, and then I'm going to do this. And that helps me to open up through the piriformis, through the low back. And again, you know what's best for your back. You know what feels good and what doesn't. I never, ever want you to push it, but if this feels good and it feels like something your back can tolerate and it feels safe for you, then I think this is a great way to open things up. And if it's especially tight for me, I might move my feet over a little bit farther and still do this. And then things open up a little bit more. So I'll generally do that right, left, right. For me, you could just do right and left, but you're going to cross your legs and do it the other way. And on this side for me, my other side is my quote unquote normal side. So it feels fine. You know, it's not even really worth doing anything for me on that side. So I'm going to go back to the original side and let it open. And then I might go into just a more traditional figure four stretch, which is my knee is crossed over, my one leg is crossed over my other foot, and I do keep this foot flexed. I don't know if you can see here, but I'm flexing at the ankle to protect my knee, and I might gently push, just give it a little push. It helps me open up the hip here. If this is feeling okay, and if it's for you, safe for your low back, you can pick up the bottom leg. And here, a little side to side and a little baby arch and curl can really work out what's tight at the back of my hips. So I'll generally do this, again, in bed before I get up, and I do it on both sides. I'm not necessarily speeding through it. Again, I'm going to flex this foot, not necessarily speeding through it, but I'm also not trying to make this take 10 minutes. So if this feels good, then I can pick it up and really stretch out the back of my hip. And then the other thing that I'm likely to do is I'm likely to send both legs over to the opposite side. So I'm going to dig in with this heel. Both of my knees are going to go over that way. And I'm going to try and lengthen out this side of my body, make this as long as I can from my hip to my armpit. And then I might actually bring my arm out, reach out a little bit, and I don't know if you can see, but I'm tucking. And the more I tuck, the more open I feel. And this changes for me depending on what's tight. If my legs are tight, I'll feel it in my quads. If my hip is tight or my glute is tight, I'll feel it there. Sometimes I feel the stretch all the way up the side of my body, and it just depends. But this one is sort of a catch-all, and it always feels good when I do this. You can always look over the opposite shoulder if you want. And then I'm going to pick one leg up at a time. And same thing, I'm going to bring both knees over one direction. You won't be able to see, but I'm pushing with the outside heel. I'm trying to open up the side of the body and the hip here. And just like on the other side, left side for me does not make a huge big difference, but I'm doing it. And then I'm going to go back to my original side, and same thing, I'm going to make sure my ribs are down, and I'm pushing with my heel, and I'm trying to get as much as I can to lengthen out down my side and my back here. Big deep breaths really help with this. And I've already taken longer than I would if I was doing this first thing in the morning. Last little thing is, instead of trying to haul myself up out of bed and do a roll up or anything like that, I'm going to push. I'm going to come to one side and push, and then let my feet land on the floor. And I always try, first thing in the morning, I don't always succeed, but first thing in the morning, I'm going to try and let both my feet hit the ground at the same time and put equal weight on as I stand up. And that's what I do first thing in the morning in terms of stretching. Let me know how it works for you. Let me know if it works out any kinks in the low back. I'd love to hear from you, and I look forward to seeing you in the next one. Thanks so much. Bye.